Good morning. It's Chris with City Girl Homestead. It's not quite 6 o'clock in the morning, and I've been up a few hours. I'm so used to getting up at 1:45 that it's hard to sleep in. And I'm a little bit nervous today. Today is my 40th year reunion tonight. So I'm not sure if we're doing a dinner video or not, but just a little nervous. You know, I'm a bigger girl now, and, you know, just, I don't dress fancy, all that good stuff. You know, and I'm sure it'll be fine, but, you know, you still get a little nervous. And I had these cucumbers. We thought we were done because the plants were nearly dead. Well, I got 3, 6, 9, 11, and a lot of them are really big. And, I mean, we do have a couple that aren't so bad. But, so the big ones are really hard to can, and Tom's like, well, we can make more relish. And I'm like, I have like 10 jars downstairs of the sweet relish. I really don't need any more. So I got to thinking about bread and butter pickles and giving them away for Christmas presents. But those are too big really even to slice, so I was looking up. And you can actually do them in chunks. So that's what I'm going to do. I got my big bowl. It's not going to take that much, but you have to soak them. So I figured it's best to have a big bowl that you can fill right up with water and not have to worry about size. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm not going to keep you with all of them that I'm going to do, but the first thing I'm going to do is cut those ends off. And then what I'm going to do is cut these in half. Now the real thin ones I'll still slice because, you know, you can. But see how seedy they get? So what I'm going to do is take out all those seeds and put them in a bowl. You know, I found a lot of short-term things that you can do with them. You know, you can make, I don't know, all kinds of stuff with it, but I mean, we've been eating cucumbers like crazy. And I'm sure there'll be a few more now too. So we can make it with those. But I'm going to seed all these up. Now make sure you wash them really, really good. Look at all the seeds in that. Ugh. That's what makes it hard to pickle them. Or I mean to, you know, make just regular pickles out of them. I know I asked Tom, why don't you stay up? And he's like, I'm going back to bed. I only sleep about 3 or 4 hours at a time anyway, so maybe once I get these soaking, maybe I'll go back to sleep for a couple hours. Or at least an hour or so. So then what I'm going to do next is I'm going to cut these into smaller pieces like that. Because we still don't want them like so huge that, you know what I mean. And then I'm going to chunk them. Not in real big chunks because, you know, I don't think somebody wants to eat just a whole chunk like that. I was a big girl too, by the way, in high school, just not this big. But I had another one of my friends last night, and because I hadn't RSVP'd, she says, are you going tonight? I'm like, I forgot to RSVP. And she's like, it's not too late. And the girl across the street, her and I graduated together, and, you know, so it's like most of the people that I talk to, I went to school with, you know. I already talked to the ones I really liked anyway. And I was never like the cheerleader girl, whatever. Honestly, and this is being really honest, my childhood wasn't that great. So I just went to school to try to get through it so I can move out and get out of this house. It's funny, because when I inherited the house to now, I've actually lived in this house longer now than I did when I was young. But it's much more peaceful now. Much more peaceful. much more enjoyable. A lot more laughter in this house and fun than there used to be. So that's a good thing. So, I mean, I didn't, like, I married my high school sweetheart and all that good stuff. And, you know, and a lot of the people I was friends with back then, I'm still friends with now, you know. But we had a class of almost 700 kids. So, you know, it's hard to get to know them all. I'll tell you, I used to live a block over and with my kids, and I did daycare over there, and I watched this one little boy, and his mom would drop him off every single day, and, you know, her and I got to be good friends and whatever. And do you know, until they did one of our, we do this thing called Art Miss every year. Well, now they call it something else because we don't go to arts. But I found out we graduated together, and neither one of us knew it. That's how many kids were in there. You know, there was a lot of kids. So, yeah. There's a lot of people when you have big classes like that that you just don't get to know. And that's okay. And some you know just because they were the cheerleader or the football or basketball or whatever, you know what I mean? I know I'm venting, right? Thanks for letting me do that, by the way. I think I'm just gonna, honestly, I'm gonna be myself tonight, and I'm gonna wear shorts and a nice shirt, my flip-flops. It's at a bar, you know. I'm not gonna pretend to be something that I'm not. I'm not that dress me up fancy kind of girl. It's just not who I am. Not that I don't look good all cleaned up. It's just not, you know what I mean? If they want to see me, they're going to see me. And I came to that conclusion today. I'm like, you know, it is what it is. But when you say it out loud, 40 years, boy, does that make you feel old. Actually, 2 years from now, Tom will be at his 50th. So, but they don't do anything. Like, there was only a class of like 40 or something. And my son, my oldest one, when he graduated school, he graduated the biggest class ever. 99 kids. Now, where I went to school, I graduated from Eastern. And there's Eastern, Sexton, Everett. And since I graduated from there, they actually hold the graduations at either the Kellogg Center or the Wharton Center at MSU, because like the year I graduated, you could only have 4 people. Well, I had a mom, dad, sister, brother, grandma, you know, so it was like, and there was some families that had 10, 12 kids that, you know, everybody couldn't go. I know I'm rambling. Well, I'm going to get the rest of these cucumbers and then I'll show you the next step. Alright, so I got them all chunked up or sliced up. I wished almost I would have done them all chunks because I think they would have been prettier. But that's what I got so far. So now, it says to take 4 onions, which might be too much. But we're going to thinly slice those. If I get to that where I'm looking at them and it looks like it's too many onions, I'm sure I can put these in a baggie and save them for later. Because onions definitely do not go to waste in my house. And these were those onions I got that fresh time the other day. Buy one, get one free. They're really pretty onions, actually. But we go through a lot of onions in our house, which is good. Onions are good for you too, so. Alright, so let me get a few of these onions. Look how pretty that's already looking. I'm going to get a few of these onions chopped up and put in there, and then I'm going to show you what we got to do next. Alright, so this is what I did. I ended up using 2.5 of the onions, because I thought that looked like plenty of onions. We don't want all onions in there. And then I took the rest of them and I diced them up and put them in a baggie, and I'll put them in the fridge. So those will get used up. Now you're going to take some salt. I'm just using my pink Himalayan salt. Some use canning salt, but just to soak, I just use the pink Himalayan. And I know you're thinking, oh my gosh, it's going to make it so salty. But actually you're going to rinse all this out. And what it does is, it just like when we make our relish and stuff, it actually gets a lot of that liquid out of the vegetables, so that you don't have just pure liquidy vegetables, you know what I mean? That you're going to get the actual taste that you're trying to get when you're canning. I'm not sure what the other reasons are that they do it, but I know that's the main reason. So, this is why I use the big bowl, because I wanted to make sure I could cover it enough in water. So now I will let that set for at least 2 hours, and then I'll drain it, rinse it really, really good to get all that salt off of there, and then we'll start the canning. I don't have any more mustard seed coming for a couple hours, so hopefully I have enough. I thought I had a big jar of it, but this is all I got left. So that's enough probably for one batch. And these ones I will be using my steam canner. I love, love, love that thing, and it really makes it so much easier to can, because these do not have to be pressure canned. And I think if you did pressure can them, they'd probably be pretty mushy. So thanks for letting me babble on about the reunion. I know just a few years ago I was making really good money, and you know, I was doing better for myself, and now I'm not, and that makes me feel kind of, you know, too. So thanks for letting me vent, you guys. And I'll be back in a couple hours and we'll get these started. So guess who just finally rolled out of bed?
Not me.
We're both going to take showers. We did last night. We do them every night, but both of our hair is like a mess. We don't want to look like that tonight. So, anyways, now I've never done these, so I thought you just poured brine over it, which I would think would be the best way, so they wouldn't be so soft, but I'll do it according to recipe. So, you're going to take half a cup of canning salt, pickling salt, whatever one you want to call it. And you're going to use 2 cups of sugar. I'm just hoping all my cucumbers will fit in this. Because there's a lot of them. And then we need 3 cups of vinegar. Make sure it's 5%. I know there's a few places been slipping and not doing that, and you can't can with less than 5%. I've got my jars heating up in the oven. I've got my canner on medium so that the water can start getting hot. Well, that's going to be maybe a quarter of a cup more, but I'm not going to. Yeah, I'm not doing that. And we need 2 tablespoons of, we need to start turning this on. You want to start stirring that, because we want to basically bring it to a boil and dissolve that sugar. So we need 2 tablespoons of mustard seeds. And we need a teaspoon of celery seeds. Don't flick it all over the place.
Wash these off.
Well, good thing it was cold still.
Yeah.
And we need a teaspoon of turmeric. They say that you don't have to add the turmeric, but that's what adds the color. And turmeric does have a little bit of taste to it, and turmeric actually is very good for you. I take a turmeric supplement every day. Alright, so let's show what that looks like. See, it's already got that beautiful gold color. So now we need to bring this up to a good boil. Then we're going to add our cucumbers to it. We'll be right back. All right, so now this is the part that I'm unsure about. So grab your spoon. And we're going to start adding pickles to it. Cucumbers, pickles, whatever you want to call it. And make sure that everything gets coated. Might have to do a second batch, I don't know.
I think you're gonna have to.
Why?
Getting pretty thick right now. Go ahead and throw it on
Well, it's gonna absorb into the
there. Pickles, yeah.
pickles. Here. We're gonna make it work. All right. So now we want to stir that till it all gets covered in the, see, it's covering the juice, isn't it? It'll work. Maybe you only need one batch. And we need to bring that back up to like a boil, and then we'll be back and we're going to put them in some jars and see how they turn out. Right, let me show them to you now. They've cooked down a lot. We were so afraid that they wouldn't have enough juice or whatever, but I don't think we're going to have that issue. And we did take a fork and we tried one, and you guys, they're going to be killer good. Aren't they, Tom? They're going to be really good. So now we need to fill our jars. I was a little nervous about this because of cooking the pickles. But then I got to thinking about it. You know, they only process for 10 minutes. So, really, you're not cooking them for very long to begin with. Actually, pickles you can go up to a 1/4 inch headspace. You were right in thinking the other way, but pickles you can go up to a 1/4 inch. Now I'm going to add a little bit of just juice to it. Mush that down again. Well, don't mush them down, but you know what I mean. Debubble them.
Debubble.
Don't mush.
Tiny bubbles.
And actually, I think if I was to do these again, what did I say, Tom? I'd do the chunks. Yeah. Because I think, A, they're going to fit better in the jar. And it's like it almost has a little bit more flavor locked in that chunk. Alright, let's do one more here. Yes, I know I'm getting it all over the countertop because I'm messy.
No, you can switch the jars around.
The jars are hot. You want to do that?
No, probably not.
Okay. He's like, yeah, probably not. Those jars just came out of a 200-degree oven.
Yeah, they're probably warm.
Probably warm, you think? Alright. Let's get that in the jar. Now, make sure, I still don't use vinegar anymore because they say that it really ruins your seals and helps it not to seal as well, and I don't want that issue. I do not like having Tom go downstairs and finding ones that popped.
Tom don't like looking at it that way either.
And they're gross.
They look pretty nasty.
Yeah, when it does that, it's pretty gross. So then clean your rims really, really good. Put your lids on. Again, I'm using my 4 jars. I got about 15 lids left in the small, and then I'm out. Now make sure you're very careful when you do this. That's why I'm using my hot pad, because they are very, very hot. You want to grab your lifter?
Sure.
All right. So we're going to get those put over onto the canner. I'm going to finish these up, and then before we get started, I'll bring you back. So we end up getting 7 pints. Oh, here, you need that. And he's going to finish loading up the canner. Now, this one didn't have a full amount of pickles in there, so I put on there partial so that I don't accidentally give that away for a gift. Somebody might not be too happy with that.
What, this is all I get?
It needs to go inside that ring a little bit. I had him fill the last 4, didn't you, Tom? Mm-hmm. I told him it's one thing to just take that stuff out, but it's quite another. There you go. Now grab the lid. It's quite another just to fill the canner, you know. But this way I'm teaching him how to fill the jars as well. Is the name for it? Yep, okay. Now you gotta line up the things. Turn it this way just a little bit. Alright. Now in the front, can you point to the hole?
Yep. So let me do it right there.
Right there, what he's pointing to is a little tiny, a little bit bigger than a pinhole. You can turn that up on high for
about the size of a number D nail.
Turn it up a little bit. Nope, the other way. Alright, so now what we're going to do is we're going to let a constant stream of steam come out that hole. Once that constant stream comes out, then we start our time for 10 minutes. Pickles only need 10 minutes. So, we'll come back when they're done and out of the canner, and let's see how they did. But I will tell you, we did take that taste, and they were good, weren't they? They're going to be great. So I was a little nervous. Now in the future, would I probably buy some pickle crisp? Probably, because I just have a feeling that when they cook like that, maybe they're going to get softer, which I hope not. But they still had a little bit of a bite to them when we tried them, so I think they'll be all right. But I did have this, but this is for fruit. I have fruit, fresh fruit preserver. So eventually I'll invest in some of that. But I think this, and we'll add dill pickles, and we do the queso and the regular cheese and chocolate caramel, and then we do a couple of meals in a jar.
Don't forget the hot chocolate.
Oh, and hot chocolate. Yeah, we can't forget that. Christopher would not be happy about that.
Not be happy at all.
And I make them hot chocolate, and then I get a nice little, you know, they never bring those back to us either.
The jars?
The milk cartons. Well, the jars either. And we put them in a milk crate, and then we give them that for Christmas as one of their gifts. So we'll be back when these are done, and we'll put them over there and check them out. And there we go. We have 6 full pints of the bread and butter pickles, and then that one partial that we'll use for a treat. So never throw away anything. We might have some more cucumbers, and we'll have to use them up and figure out something else to do with them. But don't let them go to waste. And honestly, if I was to do it again, I like the slices, don't get me wrong, but I think I would rather have the chunks, because that gives you a nice bite of pickle when you go in and get some out of the jar. So thanks for coming along with me. Thanks for letting me vent earlier this morning. You guys have a blessed day. Be a blessing. And we'll see you at, we're going to do supper for lunch today, because my, the party is at 5. And so they're going to have munchies there. So you don't want to get filled up too far before then. So it'll be an earlier video today. You guys have a blessed day.